You know it's gone, 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 jumping like a catfish on a pole, yeah. You know it's gone, 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 and a hip-shaking King Creole. Yeah, no. You know it's gone, 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 hip-shaking King Creole.
You're a pretty fancy performer, ain't you, kid?
Now you know what I do for an encore.
Now he crowns his meteoric rise to fame with a fiery burst of dramatic power as hard-loving, hard-hitting Danny Fisher, who sang his way up from the gutters of lusty, brawling New Orleans.
I would never treat you badly, like a castaway broken toy. Love for doll, I love you madly. Let me be your lover boy. I've stacked chairs and bottles and swept the floor up of every joint on Bourbon Street. It's gotten so I look longer at a dame with clothes on and one without. I'm not a hoodlum, but I am a hustler. I've had to be for a very simple reason. Young dream, young dream, young dream. My heart is filled with young dreams. Dream. And I'm longing to share them all with you.
There were to be many women in Danny's young life, but only two who really counted. Nellie, who knew too little about love.
I've never been to a place like this before. But I want to see you again. Is this the way?
Ronnie, who knew too much.
Ronnie, what are you doing here with this man? How'd you get into this?
How do you get out?
Fighting for the upper hand, the devil-driven temper that was his pathway to destruction.
Get out of here, Ronnie! Don't come back! Louisiana, baby, tells you, stay a while. Yeah! Live it up. Yeah! Love it up. Yeah! Some style way down in New Orleans.
Gee, am I hungry? I could eat a saber-toothed tiger. Well, anyway, half a one. Well, this isn't getting me breakfast. Here, Fido. Well, thanks. Now, come on, I'm famished. Well, I'll bet you're cranky before breakfast, too. Be quiet. Yum, yummy. My favorite vegetable, duck. Schlock acts like he's crazy.
That is correct. Absolutely 100% correct.
So that's the way it is, eh? All right, then. Fine thing. No swimming. Other cavemen get to go swimming, but I never get to do anything. Well, what are you looking at? Don't just stand there. Do something. Now go get it. The big lummox. Well, now isn't that clever? The hunter's helper. Now come on!
Not bad for a guy that never took a lesson in his life.
Wait here.
Here you are, girlie.
Gee, thanks a lot. Well, just what I wanted. A duck breakfast. Gee, I can hardly wait. Come on, Fido. Almost there. Golly.
You know, maybe that wasn't such a hot idea after all.
Good night, folks.
What in the world is a gidget? It's a girl, a cuddling, befuddling teen who set out to find her a man of her own and found seven young beachcombers with a single thought: to enjoy life and love without working. Meet Kahuna, their leader, and Waikiki, Stinky, Lord Byron, Hotshot, Loverboy, who tried to live up to his name, and Moondoggy, who was quite a guy.
There's no such thing as the next best thing to love.
You'll get to meet them all when you see Columbia Pictures' Gidget, brought to the screen from the bestseller that proves a teenager can be delightfully juvenile without being delinquent.
What's the use? Well, let's see how much progress we made.
Oh, it'll take forever to add even an inch. Well, the luau's only 10 days away. Oh, that's only the half of it. To get this date tonight, I had to fork over cold cash.
What kind of insanity has taken hold of this family? Cold cash? Flanks of land? Do you think this is what the young man of today wants?
You're so right. The man I'm after sure does want something else, and I'll see he gets it.
Hey, you really are sweet. Soft and sweet and lovely and feminine.
What is it?
It's time for you to go home, that's what it is.
Cinderella's so fine and she's always mine for a regular weekend date.
So if you want to find out why all the boys fidget over Gidget, the way slightly older men fidget over Bridget, don't miss Gidget, filmed in CinemaScope and an eye full of color. Gidget, the story of the Beach Generation.
Good evening, goblins and ghouls, and welcome to the Friday Night Scream Stream. I'm your host, Spakenstein, joined as always by my very good friend, Mr. Evan Sink.
Good evening, everybody.
How we doing tonight, Evan?
Oh, we are fantastic.
Feeling fine on Friday at 9. Well, a little past 9.
Second day of summer. It's official. We're in it.
It's funny because we're halfway through tonight. Our Summer of Schlock returns, but yeah, technically the summer really just started 2 days ago. So, you know.
And we got a full moon tonight.
Oh man,
it's extra spooky.
It's coming out tonight. Well, why am I wearing this Frankenstein shirt when I should be wearing a wolf shirt? Come on, I got plenty of Wolfman shirts.
Why did I bother shaving today? It's just gonna grow back.
Right, exactly. You know, now if it starts getting like a little up too high, you start getting here, you might be running into some problems. But welcome everyone. Hope you're all doing well on this Friday. I see we've got Spark in the chat, aka
What's up,
Kathy.
Spark?
Hope you're doing well this evening. We are, you know, it's another week that if you've been slogging it at work, you've been running around like crazy. So it's if it's just been that kind of a hectic work week, then
you've been swimming through a pool of responsibilities.
What a great metaphor. Yes. If you have been, if you find yourself diving deep into the into the murky waters of just the day-to-day of life that can get very busy and, you know, kind of.
If you're combing the beach of life,
yes.
Then how many more summer metaphors can we get going?
Yeah, that's what we're trying to bring to you this summer. We're trying to get good with our puns and our metaphors, all that good stuff. So we'll keep working on it. I have to keep practicing. Evan just comes to him naturally. That's why I'm the facts guy, because I can't improv for shit. No, I try. We all try. But yeah, here we are. And yeah, I'm coming in with a little bit of extra pep. I did an athletic event today. I swam in a swim meet, which yeah, it's a sport. Swimming's a sport. Okay,
it's a sport.
You're gonna
swimming hard.
I can always forget. It's an Olympic year, right? So it's always gets big around Olympic years. I don't know.
Everybody knows about the Olympic swim. It's weird. Like that's like really the only level of like swimming that everybody knows that. Everybody knows like, you know, Michael Phelps.
Right. but it's so funny because you think about pro sports, you know, pro football, pro basketball, like I believe there is like pro swimming. Like there are swimmers that are sponsored and paid, and it's like and they're paid to go to meets and they make money from it. It's never anything I could ever get to. You know, you got to be Olympic level basically. So there you go. But so I did a little bit of swimming today, and I guess the past 2 years I've done this. I've done this event, and then I've come in and done the show, and I always seem to come in with a little bit of extra pep in my step, even though I should be exhausted. So I will crash at some point, and I'll be eating my words later in the show. So stay tuned for that.
All right, so take your bets now. When is Garrett? How long is Garrett gonna last?
Yeah, I mean, over under. Through the first third of the show, I don't know. We'll see.
I'm thinking 11:22. Start looking at Garrett's eyes.
Yeah. The head starts nodding. That's when you know it's,
a little
getting
droopy.
bad. But right now I feel great, and it's certainly not because I just chugged a whole like caffeinated coffee drink. It's not that at all. But yeah, so I'm feeling fine. I hope everybody else is, and if you're not, this movie is just what the doctor ordered because tonight, again, Summer of Schlock returns. Of course, we load up the Schlock, and
we got one.
Tonight, this is there's second break. It's probably good. That's usually when it's either the alcohol or the tiredness at some point. That's
a little lull there in the middle
where it hits me. We'll see. That's a good one. This is probably it's been called one of the worst movies of all time. So the Schlock is about to be very plentiful tonight.
Off the charts tonight.
Off the charts because we are watching Eegah from 1962. And you may be asking yourself, what is an Eegah?
What the heck's an Eegah?
And what just think what kind of person or human related being would make the sound or have some kind of sound that is Eegah.
Maybe someone's saying egad, but they get cut off.
That, or you're a prehistoric caveman. They were all going around going Eegah. That's all they could say. It's just the one word. So everybody's Eegah. Everything is Eegah.
In our society, everything's equal. Everything's Eegah.
Eegah, equal. That's what it stands for. We'll see. No, so this again, Eegah. It's funny because if you were watching our pre-roll, you saw that we had some very kind of like an example of the teen movies in the years before this, the late 50s into the early 60s, and especially with that Gidget trailer, right, where it perfectly said it. It's like, it's what it is. It's like teens can be delightful without being delinquent.
Right, yeah.
I love that line.
Safe.
They're
teen
like
movie.
That hits the nail right on the head of this kind of like subgenre of teen film, the teen
wholesome
squeaky
teens.
clean teen, wholesome teen comedies that kind of emerged around the mid to late 50s. In the early to mid 50s, you had the juvenile delinquent films, which continued to be popular, but then the squeaky this like wholesome teen comedy kind of popped up and was popular. So what we have tonight, it's that with a singing teen and his girl, and they're riding around in a dune buggy, but it's also got a caveman. So that's just schlocky right there for you, right?
Okay.
And yes, Kathy, that I got so lucky finding a caveman cartoon. I cannot tell you. Like, it's very hard for me to find cartoons at this point because we're almost 100 episodes in. And yes, there are that many public domain cartoons, but it's getting very hard to find things that are somewhat related to the episode. So it was really easy this week. But this is just the schlockiest, one of the schlockiest films of all time. from what I've been told, because I haven't seen it. It was famously covered on Mystery Science Theater. So we're going to get on all that tonight, kind of the people behind it who we're familiar with. But I'll bring that up later. We'll get into all that tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. And of course, speaking of fun, Evan's been serving up glassfuls of fun every Friday night for this Summer of Schlock Returns. And he's doing the same tonight because, as always, he brings us a delicious cocktail to pair with the evening's film and a little segment which we call...
It's Schlocktail Hour.
And what's the time for, Evan?
It's time for us to... get into a original cocktail for
They've all
this
been
movie.
originals,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. This whole season, I've been going. That's been my through line with these is we're going from the ground up, and so every week, I come at this kind of from the ground up, and so when this week we've got caveman movie. So I feel like there's a couple different directions you can go with that.
Right.
You could do, I don't know. My first thought when I do caveman is like Flintstones.
Of course.
And so I was actually thinking on the way over, and I didn't think about this earlier this week. I could have done something with like Fruity Pebbles or chalk cocoa pebbles.
Love me
I
some.
didn't. I didn't. We'll have to do that next time.
We'll get there. It's fine.
We got to find another caveman movie.
Oh, dude. We'll find it. It'll be another. It's public domain horror. We haven't even scratched the surface.
But no. Instead, I was thinking, cavemen. What are cavemen known for? And I thought, what about the discovery of fire?
Naturally.
Yeah. And maybe this is just because I've been thinking about. Have you ever heard of a flaming Dr. Pepper? That's not what we're having tonight. But I've been.
Yeah, Evan. Why don't you go ahead and spark up these cocktails in the studio here?
I've been thinking about that, just like how crazy it is that these 3 alcohols just make something taste like Dr. Pepper. But the other fire alcohol spirit that we all know and few love is, of course, Fireball, which is what we're actually getting into tonight. This is our discovery of Fireball. And so the challenge then was, okay, what do you put with Fireball? What do you build off that? So what we're gonna do, this is Fireball Cointreau for some some warm citrusy notes. We've got a fruit element with some lemon juice and some dragon fruit puree.
Whoa.
Yeah, we're breaking out the dragon fruit.
Well, there were dragons back in the caveman
times, I think that's
right,
where
Evan?
they got the fire from.
Right. The dragon, they just have this pile of sticks sitting there. The dragon's like, this is really unsightly. And the cavemen were freaked out at first, running around didn't know what to do with themselves. And then they're like, oh, this is real nice. We can see, and it's warm over here. And and it just...
How did he do that?
Snowballed from there.
I'm sorry. Eegah.
Eegah. Yeah, that's what they said. Of course.
So anyway, this is the discovery of fire. If you'd like to make your own, you can find the recipe on our socials. Or on...
I didn't not. It will be.
It will be. Don't worry about it.
I haven't put it up yet.
Don't worry about it.
I was swimming today. Okay, come on, give me a minute. It will be up there.
You ever had dragon fruit before?
Have we done it for a previous cocktail?
I don't think so. We've done kiwi, which is
Did you substitute
similar.
One time?
We've done passion fruit.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. Okay. And I guess not. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks a lot better than it tastes, to be honest. It's a little bland, but I think it is going to add kind of a mellowness to this.
Oh, okay.
With the Fireball.
Like a kiwi.
Yeah, like a kiwi.
Okay, I can definitely smell the Fireball.
Got the cinnamon in there.
Yeah, the cinnamon really stands out. And I don't know what Cointreau is, but it's the weirdest thing.
It's fancy triple sec.
You gave us the recipe. Well, okay, that makes sense. You gave us the recipe, and then last night I saw it. There was like on whatever I was streaming, a commercial came up for. I've never seen a commercial for Cointreau, and it was a commercial.
I didn't know
and it was about how you got him. It's not a margarita if you don't make it. A real margarita if you don't make it. I was surprised, and I was like, "Oh, we're drinking that up."
Yeah, we have that. We can make a real margarita.
Yeah,
or whatever this is.
Or whatever this.
Right.
It looks.
All right, we're gonna give this a try. We're gonna dive into the discovery of fire.
All right.
So, cheers, everybody.
Cheers. I took a little sip.
Took a big sip.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
It's a lot, and the fireball just kind of like holds everything hostage.
Yeah.
It is like everything else you can kind of taste, but the fireball is just like
it's so strong. It's
all
kinda
up in
hard to-
everything.
Yeah. I think I had a bigger sip that had maybe a little bit more of the puree, and I think that does mellow it out a lot.
Okay.
I can't tell if it's like busy, maybe. There's so
I
many
guess for me, the
flavors
thickness of the puree is also a little bit like, all right, I really gotta.
It's like a smoothie.
Like, cause me, when you see me over here, I'm just kind of sucking it down. So then I've got all this puree kind of like, but it's interesting. And like I like the aftertaste and the way it all like kind of settles in.
It's really not bad.
Took a bigger sip that time. A little more. Yeah, you're right. It does. It does balance it out. I think I just got like a very.
You got
I got like a big like drop of Fireball, but that was definitely. And the lime juice is a nice like I can get that now. That's coming out, which is good. Yeah, I think this is gonna pair well with the movie, and the fire is I was already feeling pretty hot coming in. I'm kind of burned from the sun. I had to turn the saturation down on my camera because I'm like super red from being outside for 11 hours today. But I was like, I think for a movie, we're gonna be all out in the sun during this movie. So I think this is, we're gonna be out by the pool. This is kind of a cocktail I'd like.
I think so, yeah.
Out by the pool.
Take it by the pool. Side,
although by the time I'm done with it, I'm really just want to hop into a pool. And what kind of pools here? What are we gonna do?
You've been in a pool all day.
I know. I don't want to get out.
I gotta get back in.
We're about to dive into Eegah, and I'm very excited because I have not seen this before. A lot of these this season have been first time watches for me. So anytime that a season is pretty much that, I'm always excited. But this movie, of course, it has a very notorious reputation for just being cheesy. And again, like it's this wholesome teen comedy was already kind of viewed as square by the mainstream anyway. But especially by 1962 when tonight's film came out, it was like squeaky teen comedy. It was about to evolve into something else, which we'll talk about later. But that is part of what makes this so cheesy. The other part is just that the people behind it are, they're just scrappy indie filmmakers just out here doing their thing. And the producer, director, story writer of tonight's film is a man named Arch Hall Sr. And this movie stars his son, Arch Hall Jr. And we've seen Arch Hall Jr. before.
We know these people.
We know them because when we watched The Sadist last season, that came the year after tonight's movie, it starred Arch Hall Jr. as the psychotic serial killer. Well, now he's playing the exact opposite. He's playing the teen idol who sings in a rock band. And he's hanging out with his girl, and so and again, Arch Hall Sr., this is him trying to put his son on because he thought his son was very talented. And so he made a few movies featuring his son, and there had already been one before this. The Choppers, which when we watched The Sadist, we saw the trailer for The Choppers.
Right.
And also for Wild Guitar, which came out the same year as tonight's movie. I don't know which came first. Probably this. But this is, you know, the Halls, obviously, they were just, you know, didn't really have a lot of experience, but they talked big game, especially Arch Hall Sr. So we'll talk about him tonight and kind of the crazy guy that he was and the production of this movie. And of course, the man playing Eegah, Richard Kiel, who when you see the face, you'll be like, oh, I know that guy.
I know that case.
I know that guy. So we'll talk about him more tonight. We'll get into all the people and again talk about the genres at this time and kind of how things were morphing and changing on the indie scene. A lot of fun stuff. So anything before we get into tonight's movie, Evan?
So have we seen any of these squeaky teen movies?
Not really. I mean, I guess in a way, Teenage Zombies has elements of that. Also, the giant Gila monster. Okay, so that's the perfect like equivalent in a way, because you know, you remember there's that one guy who he's singing and he's fixing the cars and he's the you know. That was definitely kind of a crossing the two.
Okay, because I was thinking, how clean are we going? Like, how do you have a monster movie if they're too squeaky clean to fight back?
Right. Well, we'll see. Well, you'll see. It gets, from what I am aware of with this movie, it gets pretty just absurd. So.
Okay. Well, you know, we got a caveman, so I think they need like a silver bullet or something.
Right.
Full moon, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because all cavemen were werewolves. This is the one thing that history books won't tell you. And I've been trying to spread the word for years. And I can't get anybody to believe me.
That's why Homo sapiens made Neanderthals go extinct, because they were werewolves.
Just ate them all out of existence.
Now there's your movie.
Well, on that note,
sorry, not to slander.
No, I love it. No, I think it's great. So, without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into the exciting beginning of Eegah right now. Love that.
Nice.
Again, 60s, rock and roll, surf guitar. This is the world that we're going to be in tonight. And I believe this is Arch Hall Jr. or one of his friends playing this.
These opening credits, they're pretty cheesy, but I kind of like it.
It's fun. Shift your focus. So William Waters.
More smoke.
William Waters is a pseudonym that for Arch Hall Sr. So Arch Hall Sr.'s in this. He also, let's see, what does it say? Original story by not Arch Hall Sr. I can't read it.
Is it Nicholas?
Nicholas Merriweather. That's the pseudonym that he used for the writing, producing, directing. He was credited under a pseudonym. Because obviously, you don't want it to look like a vanity project.
Right.
Casting your own son, you know, putting up all the money, and this feels like a weird music video, doesn't it?
This feels like Twin Peaks. beats.
It's like some weird prog rocky kind of like, I don't know. I'm digging it. Nice. Just cut right in. Whoa. Whoa. I do like this aesthetic, right? Old storefront. Look at all that red carpet, dude. And the white. Oh.
Very stark.
Yeah. She was actually in The Sadist as well. She played Charlie's girlfriend, like the one that didn't say much and was like giggling and like. But here she plays just a normal
Roxy.
teen girl.
What are you doing in town? Thought I was supposed to meet you up at the club.
Well, you still are. I just bought myself a new swimming suit tonight.
Oh?
Yes. See?
That? Well, I get off work in 10 minutes.
Follow me out then.
Follow you? Listen, I can change clothes and beat you out there.
Yeah, much different from the
That's my
like
girl. Her father's Robert
Sadist performance
Writes
where
all
he's
those
twitch.
adventure books. You ought to see her swim. Hey!
You're
Gee.
fired.
I sure am sorry, sir. I guess I was thinking about having dinner with my girl. She lives up at the club.
Golly gee, mister. Sorry, I was thinking about having dinner with my girl. You don't talk like that. Nobody talks like that anymore.
Eegah.
Eegah. She said it. Of course he has a club. Why wouldn't he?
Is that Graham Chapman?
Yep.
It's just a Monty Python bit.
Nice. Jesus. This mumbling is killing me. Of course.
Destroy.
Drive away. Uh-oh. Just in the nick of time.
Roxy, it's me, Tom.
Oh, Tommy. Oh.
What's the matter? What happened?
Oh, is he gone?
Who?
Is he?
I didn't see anybody. Just take it easy and tell me what happened.
I saw a giant.
What?
Well, I did. Honest, I saw a giant.
It's a bold choice for a monster.
Yeah, a caveman.
A giant caveman.
Yeah, emphasis on the word giant.
It was right in the middle of the
Why is he so tall? Well, cavemen aren't usually, like, huge, are they?
I wouldn't think so.
He doesn't believe me.
You didn't really expect anyone to, did you, Miss Miller?
Why not? It's the truth.
Honey, a prehistoric monster is a rather large order to swallow.
Dad, I didn't say he was a monster. He was a giant. Well, you know, a caveman.
Club and all, eh?
Yes.
What my daughter saw, she saw. Now, let's just let it go at that.
So that's Archhall Sr.
But if you see your giant again, let me know in time to take some pictures.
She will.
Dad, you don't believe me either.
That girl over there
Roxy,
said
of
she was
course I-
abducted by giants.
I believe you saw something.
Well, I saw a giant.
The town gossip. The last person you
Prehistoric
want to tell that
giant.
you're encountered with a strange
How about it, Tom?
figure on the roadside.
Like I told you, Mr. Miller, I wasn't there until afterwards.
Tommy Nelson, I know what I saw.
Sure, Roxy, but I mean giants.
There were giants. The Bible says so.
Yes, it does. In the book of Genesis.
That's wholesome.
Something about in those days, giants walked the earth.
Well, then.
Maybe we can get some flashlights and go out and take a look for ourselves. Huh?
No, this thing can wait until morning. Now, you kids go and take your swim before the pool closes.
What time at night is this?
In the morning now.
It's a promise.
I promise we'll look for the giant in the morning.
Sure. Just gone now.
Dad still doesn't believe me.
Sure he does.
And neither do you.
I swear on my Elvis Presley LP. How big did you say he was?
Oh, bigger than anybody you ever saw.
I bet you were scared, huh?
A little. But I had the funniest feeling he wouldn't hurt me.
Yeah?
Why is the camera bouncing?
Yeah.
In fact,
Hold it still.
I thought it was kind of cute.
Oh.
Love triangle.
Uh-oh. Ooh.
Imagine the whole thing?
No.
You know what kind of fit the people of the country club would have if they found out she was in a relationship with a caveman?
Dreamed this whole idea.
No, Dad, I didn't. There was a giant.
Now, I don't want to call this story of yours a lot of foolishness, and I haven't so far, have I?
No.
But if there were a giant, if anyone at all had
Mr. Miller,
been here,
come here.
what'd you find?
I don't know. It sure looks like a footprint, though.
Well, let me see. Look, there's the heel, and there's the toes.
Bigfoot.
Oh, you're really ruining it, dude.
I don't see any footprint.
What footprint?
Now, come on, let's get back to the club.
Must have been made that.
Say it.
A giant.
What did I tell you? That's for finding it.
I'll find the big boy himself for you if you feel like that.
He left the road right here. Watch out for snakes.
Ooh!
What?
Who said that?
You know, just the guy that stands off and
Was that
he's
the narrator?
Nah, dude, it's the desert lifeguard.
Yeah.
He's my giant.
He's
Watch
just
out
off,
for snakes.
Just
The
on
guy
the,
was
He
just
just
off screen
hollered,
in his
uh,
chair.
And then he turned and took off her.
Shadow Mountain. Do you suppose that's where he lives?
It's possible. That would account for his never having been seen before.
It's too bad we didn't bring the doom buggy.
What's going on with Archhall Senior's shoes? Look at him if they go to a little wide again.
Maybe
He
even
looks like
bring
he's
him
wearing
back.
spats or
A
something.
lot of people aren't gonna believe this giant jazz.
Just the light?
No, there's like the front of them are white,
Why
Yeah.
not?
and then they're black.
After the way everyone laughed at me.
Your turn will come. I'm going up on Shadow Mountain with a camera.
Are you gonna write a book about the giant, Mr. Miller?
That's the idea, Tom.
I'll take
Wow,
He's
what an
He's
enterprise.
sold.
Thanks.
It is.
This
I
is
just
why I
know
have a
it
country
works.
club
There's no
membership.
offense, son. But I'd like to take this trip in something a little bit safer.
What's safer than a dune buggy? Honestly.
a helicopter.
Yeah, dude, completely safe. Nobody's getting their head chopped off tonight.
Cavemen are weak to helicopters. Everybody knows that.
Scare the shit out of them, dude.
I'll see you in about 2 days at the most.
Oh,
hell of an outfit. You know how to dress for a
Now,
caveman.
my credit
Huh?
cards are in the desk drawer. You
Going
make
on
sure you leave them.
expedition.
This thing's supposed to be safer than my dune buggy?
All right, Kruger, let's go.
Kruger, this is what Freddy did before he got burned alive. Out looking for cavemen with this guy, this fucking safari hat.
Before they got involved with industrial smoothing.
Yep, they're definitely flying.
See any cavemen down there?
Well, I think that the first place they should be looking at is near a cave, right? Why are they just scouring the mountains? Go find a cave. Ooh. So this is like, they're up in Bronson Canyon. That's where they were shooting this, where like Roger Corman shot a lot of his horror movies. Like a lot of B science fiction and horror movies were shot out here. Jesus Christ. Yeah, just get right out.
Get right out.
This hat'll protect me.
Don't you forget, I want you to meet me at the mouth of Deep Canyon tomorrow at 4.
I'm sorry, he's staying out there?
He didn't say anything. He already looks pretty rough.
He
just got
does, yeah.
there.
They should have put a fade or a transition there. I guess he's been going for a little bit. Yeah, I see the light.
It's proof of cavemen. Only a caveman could have built this.
These were not made by anyone familiar with the ways of the 20th century, that's for sure.
Oh, found him.
Wow, he's his own worst enemy.
No. Oh, no. No. No.
Friend? Oh man, we're out by the pool. Thank God. I was like, I was starting to go through withdrawal.
Been too long since I've thought about swimming.
Look at that cool blue water. Here we go.
Yeah.
My whole life has changed. Though the first day we met was my last day.
I love how he makes that echo with his voice.
Vicky, oh Vicky.
My name's not Vicky.
What have I done? Why can't we make
Really bright.
Yeah, didn't have the settings quite dialed in there.
so much fun?
She cannot swim.
If you don't love me, I was a fool.
You're not supposed to be under the slide. If I had a whistle on me right now, I would blow it. Accidents happen this way. You're not supposed to play under the slide. God. Now I'm just getting it hot in a different way.
This is supposed to cool you off.
I know.
I'm so alone.
What is she? He's playing the guitar. He's got an audience, okay?
Talk to me if I could just call you on the phone. Would you give one more chance to a fool?
Do you think he like swallowed a microphone?
Yeah. Yeah, it sits right here.
You are my love.
And that he's got this invisible choir that follows him
she
around.
gets the
Dude,
backup
dude,
dancer,
how much you
backup
have to pay
singers.
for that?
Spared no expense.
Dude, and the way he faded it out was perfect.
My son's gonna be a movie star, one way or another.
Another girl thinks you're the giant. Hello, Roxanne.
Hello.
Did you hear that? They were gossiping about her.
Today,
Not
Roxy?
today.
She thinks that's giant. Oh, hey.
Boy, have they got some news coming to them.
Oh, I don't care anything about them. I just hope Dad gets back all right.
He said he wasn't even going to try to get close to the giant. Just to find out where he lived, that's all.
Well, I hope that's all he does. But you know my dad.
Yeah, he's just like you.
Telephone, Miss Miller. Take it over there.
Thank you.
You got some other guy on the string, huh?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Ooh.
Was that call from a man or a woman?
I really couldn't say, sir.
Nice discretion. That's why you're a perfect employee for the country club.
Caveman.
She's crazy. We don't want to, you know. Caveman girl over here.
Hello? Yes? Dad'll understand. It's just one of those
He was
things.
over there, and now he's over here.
Just a minute, please. Do you know where Deep Canyon is?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Sure, I'm sure. I've been there lots of times. Why?
Don't worry, Mr. Kruger. I'll take care of it. Yes. Thanks for calling.
Don't question my knowledge of where Deep Canyon is.
What's up?
You know I
That
know
was
where it
Mr.
is.
Kruger from the airport. The helicopter blew a gasket or something. He won't be able to pick Dad up.
At Deep Canyon?
Yes.
No problem. We'll get the dune buggy and we'll whiz right out there.
Oh, you're gonna whiz right out. Oh,
there
look
we
at him
go.
whizzing right out there, dude. Sick.
This is whizzing?
Wait till we get off the highway.
I think they both swallowed a microphone.
Hang on to your garter belt.
Dude, what? It's like a shovel holder? I guess you get stuck,
I
right?
guess so,
On the
yeah. I
dude.
guess you gotta
Stuck.
bring a shovel.
Whoa, yeah, here we go. Fuck yeah, look at this. Driving around on the dune buggy. How many minutes of this do you think we get?
Well, how long is the song?
Tires are filled with water.
To keep him cool?
No, the weight. Gives
Oh,
me
that-
traction in the sand.
Watch this.
His tires are filled with water. I've never, I guess it makes sense. I wouldn't know. I don't know anything about cars. Woo! Some people like to go tubing on the lake. Other people like to just whip around in their dune buggy. It's the summer. Do you yell wee when you're riding around, you know, doing crazy maneuvers in your car?
I'm more of a woo-er.
You think the people from Fast and the Furious movies, when they're driving around, they go wee?
Probably right. They're stuck.
Time to get that shovel out, Arch. Try it again. Oh! Dude, I asked how many minutes? How many minutes, dude? There it is. That's the song. It was.
All right,
you were right, Evan. As long as the song is.
There you are, Deep Canyon.
I don't see Dad anyplace.
It's a big
Maybe
canyon.
we're early.
It's deep.
It's past 4:30.
Where do you keep that? I feel like you'd lose that. It'll just. I think it's like a locket or what? Small watch.
Hey, take it easy on that water.
Well, I don't want it to dry out before Dad gets here. And don't you eat anymore.
Okay.
Wow, they set up camp pretty quick, huh?
It's 9 o'clock. What do you suppose happened?
Oh, nothing happened. He's not coming on a bus, you know. You can't expect him to be right on the dot.
I know, but he should have made it before dark.
Don't worry about it. He'll see the campfire and come walking in on us any minute now.
That's what you said 2 hours ago.
Well, he will.
Well, if you believe that, what's the idea of the bedrolls?
Look, I carry all this junk in the buggy anyway, so you might as well get some use out of it.
I'm not sleepy.
So just lie down, take a rest for a while. I'll keep the fire going.
Sure.
Hey, what are you doing with that?
I always carry a gun in the desert. There's coyotes around a camp.
Put it away. We're not playing cowboy.
You know, there's mountain lions around here, too.
Well, they won't come near a fire, I know that much. And I'm not gonna have you take a shot at something that turns out to be Dad.
Okay. I'll put it away in one condition, that you crawl in and get some rest.
Okay.
Got giants out here.
Getting snippy with each other. Trouble in paradise? Of course, he goes to his guitar. Do you hear the noises coming out of that guitar, dude?
He's really good.
He's so good. Oh, he's whistling.
If I had 1,000 paintings
Different song.
in a marble gallery, every
What's this infernal sound?
I hate it.
Eegah smash! He does the John Belushi thing from Animal House.
diamonds are good, they say, and so's a gallery. But I feel like a tiger on one kiss from Valerie.
How do they get an amp out here?
I couldn't stand tomorrow, and they can have
You're gonna
today.
crank up the dune buggy.
Yeah, you get a lot of power out of the dune buggy, dude. It's got outlets in it, everything. It's got everything.
$1 billion and a banker's salary. I'd spend all on flowers.
Flowers
to give to Valerie.
Okay, so
Is this a different girl?
I know Vicky, Valerie. He's just got a whole playing with a whole deck, whole hand of girls. Notice you haven't written a song about me yet.
Well, now, wouldn't you like to know?
She finally got there, Kathy. Let's take a break right here. So that was the exciting first third of Eegah. What do we think so far, Evan?
All I can think is, why is the caveman so handsome?
Oh, dude.
They found such a pretty guy to play the caveman, and I don't know why.
Again, I think they were just looking for a giant.
This is a teen heartthrob giant caveman.
They were looking for a giant, and, Richard Keel just fit the bill. He was 7'2". Make sure I'm giving you the... Yep. And he had let me get it right. Gigantism, which is a literal... It's not, news to me. But there are a fair amount of actors that Richard Keel kind of like falls in with in Hollywood that are these like taller actors that, obviously they're suffering from certain medical conditions, but like the guy who played the original Lurch and the guy who played the other Lurch, all the other Lurches, and like the big guy from Twin Peaks, right? Like there's this group of actors throughout the history of cinema that have kind of been, because of their size and stature, kind of pigeonholed to a certain extent in roles of horror movie villains or monsters, right?
Can you believe I got typecast as a giant?
I really gotta. I just want them to put me in a normal sized room, give me normal clothes, treat me like a normal person. Well, that was the thing about Richard Keel. He really did kind of he wasn't typecast into monster roles or horror movies. I mean, again, he had a really great career with things like two James Bond movies. He was in The Spy Who Loved Me and Moonraker, playing the villain Jaws, who has metal teeth. And apparently, even before that, he had played a villain in, I think, Silver Streak, which is a Gene Wilder movie. I think Gene Wilder, Richard Pryor, and he has metal teeth. So it's just like and that came before the James Bond stuff. Okay. So it's just I think, but apparently the James Bond, the metal teeth were uncomfortable. He couldn't wear them for very long. But he was a smart guy. Like, I think when he was hired to do this, he was a bouncer. And then he went on to, like, I think the year after this, he was like teaching math at a school. Like, he did a lot of different jobs before he kind of found regular work in Hollywood. And then, of course, probably later audiences will know him from Happy Gilmore, where he plays this character, Mr. Larson, who's this very big, tall guy who the villain of the movie has to hit a golf ball off of his foot because the ball in the big climactic tournament, the ball lands on Richard Keel's character's foot, and the shooter McGavin has to hit the ball off of his shoe. And he already pissed him off earlier in the movie. And so Shooter's so scared he doesn't he whiffs the shot. So it's like it's a win for Happy Gilmore. And it's like, So it's like and you will probably know him, Evan, as the alien in the Twilight Zone episode To Serve Man.
Oh.
It's a cookbook. He's the one that
guy.
Yeah, obviously not his voice.
Right.
But he's the one, he's in the makeup. I think he just looks around at people and they have this other voice like narrating what his thoughts are, somehow communicating to everybody. But yeah, that's kind of where some of our viewers may also know him from, but he had a very big career. And then of course we talked about the Halls already,
of course,
because they're both in this movie. I mean, that's the funny thing about these guys. And I'll be honest, so I'm gonna tell you, I didn't do an outline for tonight's episode, so I'm trying to remember what trailers I've got coming up first. Hold on, let me peek. I can take a peek. It's like, what am I segueing into here? Where am I going? So I have like a fact sheet, but okay. So we talked about the wholesome teen thing already, right? And we've seen it in this movie. He's singing, he's hanging out with this girl. They have dinner with her dad. It's all very...
They're sleeping far apart from each other.
Right. It's all very chaste. And so that was these movies, though. It was this thing of... It was a pushback on the delinquent thing, because that was like exploited. After a certain point, exploitation filmmakers... Because, movies like Rebel Without a Cause were very serious looks from big studios about juvenile delinquency. But then you have the exploitation filmmakers coming along being like, oh, we can get away with showing some like, raunchy stuff if we're saying that we're against the evils of juvenile delinquency. So they show it. So yeah, the squeaky clean teen thing is a pushback on that. And we've seen it in this movie tonight. And it's funny because this movie came out a year before kind of like the zenith of this subgenre, which was the movie Beach Party, which started the whole beach party subgenre. That was like the squeaky clean, the wholesome teen thing, comedy transformed into really like just the beach party movies.
Straight up beach party.
Yeah, that really like dominated the scene, but it kind of like also was almost like a parody. Like it got to the point that everybody knew these movies were like not really for teens, not for real teens, like real teens. They liked the exploitation stuff when it started getting really gritty and really like trying to deal with real issues. They did gravitate towards that. They'd go see a movie like The Beach Party if they wanted to not pay attention and go make out. It wasn't like real entertainment for teens, but for a while the beach party thing kind of, this is the teen movie, is these beach party movies. But that was the out of touchness of the studio that we were talking about last week, American International. Mm-hmm. They're the ones that created the beach party movies and the craze, and all the other like big studios copied those movies, but they were not like really in touch with what was going on. So but that's what you got. And so that was like 1963 when the first one came out. And I think they made those movies for 3 or 4, maybe like they got over 5 years making beach party movies. But obviously, I think the luster wore pretty quick. It lost its luster quick because what else happened in 1963? Let's save that for the break, because we're going to see a trailer for Beach Party. And then what we're going to see is for a trailer from 1964. So it's another year later, and it's The Horror of Party Beach, right? Which I think we've seen the trailer before. But it's kind of like Beach Girls and the Monster, except it's a real monster. It's effectively a parody of the beach. It's trying to be like, it purposely, the filmmakers made it trying to be a parody of beach party movies, but with a monster and with gore and blood. And so it's like, that's the thing. By 1964, people were already parodying the Beach Party movie and what it stood for. And there's a reason why. Or I think there's a reason why. So we'll talk about that after the break. So we're going to get the trailers for Beach Party and The Horror at Party Beach. And then when we come back, we'll get into the exciting middle of Eegah. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Nothing is greater than the sand serpents out there. Yeah, we're surfing all day and we're swinging all night. Vacation is here. Beach party tonight.
Beach Party, for the most uproariously uninhibited unveiling of today's pagan rites.
The Samoan puberty dance all over again.
The observing professor is Bob Cummings. Dorothy Malone is the professor's assistant, who can teach a few things herself.
After you write this book on sex,
Yes?
read it.
Frankie Avalon and Annette Funicello, two youngsters in love you'll love.
You know, the only thing I've studied this semester is you.
Well, I hope you don't flunk.
Ava Six, a prime asset at any party. Harvey Lembeck, a motorcycle matador. Maury Amsterdam, host to Hot Doggers and Beach Bunnies.
Why not?
Keep a moving and a grooving. Don't stop now. Don't stop now.
Promise me anything but give me love.
Secret Service spot where only I know. The Grammys and the Hooters never go. Surfing, swinging, and surfing. Yeah, just surfing.
Treat him nicely. That's what you should do.
Vacation is here. Beach party tonight.
What do we hold, sinners?
Girls!
There's an irresistible surge of that urge to romantically merge. Ah, it's wild and wonderful when 10,000 kids beat on 5,000 beach blankets.
Hey, wall-to-wall girls.
Laughing, loving, living it up.
Vacation is here. Beach party tonight.
While the beach set twists to the big beat sound of the Delaires, swinging out with 6 rocking hits. While the cycle gangs burn up the road and strong-arm their way into the party with fists flying. While teenagers prepare for a secluded slumber party, ghoulish atomic beasts who live off human blood. Again and again, the fiendish monsters struck like nothing that ever stalked this earth. An entire city in the throes of panic, at the mercy of demons from the dead.
And we are back. So that was the trailers for Beach Party and The Horror at Party Beach. And
don't forget to sign your release form.
Yeah, seriously. I like should have gotten a little more clearance, I think, for that, but
Yeah, we're not permitted to watch that trailer.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad. Like maybe I shouldn't have shown that, but we take risks here on this show. That's what we do. It's what we're known for. So we'll
It's what
continue
we get
to
in
do
trouble
it. Fortunately, you're right about that, Evan. So yeah, it's funny because you can see just in those two trailers, like you can see how the Horror of Party Beach trailer is parodying the beach party genre, and that's only the year after the movie Beach Party came out.
It's just a real quick turnaround.
Well,
there.
and I think that obviously the film industry from like 1962, when tonight's movie came out, to 1967 experienced a seismic shift in content, like explicit content, the code fell apart, the rating system got introduced, all this momentous stuff happened. But to me, what set it off to start having people pushing it and making parodies like the trailer we just saw, to me, and I have no evidence for this, I'm just spitballing a theory here. It's just irresponsible, I know. But I think it was the Kennedy assassination, honestly.
Oh, okay.
I think that kind of changed people's
shift.
Yeah, and just like, okay.
I feel like, I mean, it would. Much in the same way that, 9/11.
Right.
There's like a big tonal shift after that.
But you were also on the right track when we stepped out for the break. Evan said, "Is it Vietnam?" And it's like, well, that's not what my like theory is about how like immediately you get like kind of like how immediately there's a what could pinpoint a seismic shift. But Vietnam and the counterculture and everything that started to pop up over these like 5 years from the early 60s to the mid 60s, it's all kind of like responsible for like stories taking this tact of like, oh, we're not going to pander. We're not gonna say that, oh yeah, the good teens, the clean teens, they're the, this is
golly,
it's not real. It's Hollywood. It's a Hollywood sheen that they put on things. It's all manufactured. And the 60s counterculture and just certain artists were started to push back on that. And I think that the Kennedy assassination really is kind of like a marking point to when you start getting more people being like, this is fake. Like, life is horrible. Real life horrible things happen, and life can be shattered in an instant. Like, why are we gonna say that? Not to get, I digress, but you know what I mean.
No, and I think that does make a lot of sense.
It's just, and so that's why it's wild to see a movie tonight from 1962. Where they're genuinely doing still doing this thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, afterwards, yeah, like unless you are pandering like AIP was with the Beach Party movies, you were like, how can I tell a story that panders? Like, how can I just, like, especially in the indies, you wanted to take risks. Like, it was a risk.
Civil rights was going on too. Then
that's what I'm saying.
Such a heavy decade.
Those five, like 1962 to 1967, the changes, everything. I don't even think we've begun to actually measure the reverberations that we still feel today, and like just how it changed culture and pop culture. That's what we're harping on here. So, we're about to get back in the movie. It's so cool the way that's part of what this show is all about, is looking at how history shapes. Yeah, right. Kathy brought up the civil rights like aspect that I didn't even white asshole over here. I didn't even consider it. this is what is so cool about going back and watching an old movie and being able to just kind of look back at history and what was going on and think about, oh yeah, all these things. It was what crazy time. So, like I said, I digress. We're about to get into the exciting middle of Eegah, and what do we think's gonna happen, Evan? More guitar playing, more invisible choir, more dune buggy, or more caveman? Because we've had like dune buggy choir singing up here, caveman like.
I know what I want to see is more caveman.
Well, I'm gonna have to be on the flip side, and I say we send the dune buggy stuff through the roof. I think we need 5 to 10 more minutes of dune buggy footage.
Buggy movie.
And then we got a movie. Then we're in the can.
There we go.
I mean, that had to have been Arch Hall seniors thinking on it. And so at the second break, we'll talk all about more about the halls, because there's more stuff that we didn't get into when we watched The Sadist that is so wild. So it's gonna be a lot of fun to get into that. And yeah, just to recap, our hero and heroine are out in the desert looking for the father of the girl of this couple, and while he was looking for this caveman, and the boy just got done singing was that a sad song? I don't know. He got done singing a song, and that's where we left off.
Yeah.
Well, there's your recap. So, did I already ask you anything else before we get into it, Evan?
You know, I keep thinking, are they gonna explain this caveman?
I'm waiting. It's gonna drive me crazy.
I feel like they're just not gonna explain it. And part of me is like, I never ask that for any other monster. Like, if it was anything else,
like last week, like they were dancing around it, right? But like this is so inexplicable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Like, why do I'll accept any other kind of crazy monster, but a caveman.
Caveman.
I don't believe that. I need some kind of explanation.
I draw the line at caveman. Caveman is my. We have a lot of the movie monsters we'll tolerate. It's like the uncanny valley, basically, right? There's a certain point where you're just like, I just don't buy this.
Okay, what's this caveman?
I don't believe that this is real. This is just, I can't. You got to do more for me here. We haven't quite gotten there yet. Hopefully we will. But
why is that the monster for this movie?
It could have been anything.
It could have been anything. I'm gonna make my son famous with a caveman movie.
It does seem so strange that, of course, the idea had to come from one singularly strange mind. So we'll get into that at the second break. So I think we're gonna go ahead and get into the exciting middle of Eegah right now.
Tom.
Hot out there in the desert.
Yeah.
Do you suppose Dad found the giant? Or the giant found him?
Nah. Giant probably is way up in the mountain. Your dad wasn't going that far.
I guess not.
Yeah, you're right. Sleeping as far apart.
Oh, it's my transistor. Something's wrong with it.
No kidding.
Yeah, sometimes a bump starts it off and you gotta hit it again to stop it.
That's probably going to be important later.
Yeah.
Check off.
There's your setup. Wait for the payoff.
Look at how gracefully he moves. And I'm being serious. I'm not being facetious. Like, he's not lumbering around. He was kind of like waltzing into the scene. Yeah. What is happening?
What is this voiceover?
It's really bad. It's obviously not him. Yeah, it's like Cookie Monster. Yeah, that's what he sounds like. Mmm. There it was. That's the payoff.
That's the payoff.
And what a good payoff it was.
Hey, have you been at this? We were saving for Dad.
What?
The stew.
I didn't
Stew.
touch it.
Well, I sure didn't. And look at...
Oh man, another piece of wood for the fire. Oh, I thought he was about to toss it in the fire.
Listen, if he comes back for that club, we don't want to be anywhere around here.
Or you set a Scooby-Doo style trap right above the club. Could work.
But they're stuck again.
Oh my God! What are you laughing about? You
Yeah,
can't find
we're
her father.
Yeah.
It's just too much fun.
I love this dune buggy.
Oh, dude, I told you we're gonna get 5 more minutes of Dune Buggy. 5 to 10.
What?
Those are cool old. I have a cool old camera like that. There's, you know, you've seen that one,
Sure
right?
it is?
Yeah.
Well, I borrowed it enough. Look at the way it's smashed.
Well, he could have dropped it.
Well, then why didn't he pick it up?
Well, it's broken. It's no good to him.
You gotta love these characters in the movies. Just dismiss.
Let's
It's
not
probably
jump to
this.
conclusions either.
Yeah, they've
Come on, let's try the next ravine.
run in with the giant. Why is he being so dismissive?
He believes in the giant.
Go.
I'm gonna leave you. Get in here. Yeah, you can tell those tires are filled with water.
How does that feel like an idea that Cosmo Kramer would come up with?
It does. Oh, Jerry, you'll never believe. I put water in my tires. I get 10 miles more a gallon. I'm gonna put water in your tires, Jerry.
One way or the other, what do you think?
I don't know.
Well, I'll climb up your waist and see if the buggy can get through. No, you better stay here.
No.
There's no use in both of us going. We gotta come back for the buggy anyway.
Well, then we'll come back. I'm not going to sit here doing nothing.
Oh, women. Look, you stay here with the buggy.
Nope.
And drive it up to meet me when I give you the signal. That'll save us both a trip. Come on.
Well, okay.
Ah, the gun. Toss it.
Yeah, toss me that gun.
Give me a blast in that horn if you see anything.
Don't worry about that.
Serpentine. Stride. Oh, I'm out of sight. I can slow down now. Watch out for snakes. Wasn't there a snake in The Sadist?
I think so.
Well, nah, you know what? I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. Spoilers. I wanted to do my hair too. Now we can both do our hair. It's funny because this color doesn't even look like real color, you know? It looks like it was colorized later, but this movie was made in color. Did I hear the horn? No. You didn't honk. Oh, there it is. Now you can get her. Oh, look, did you see that? He got her bag. He's got it right on the crook of his arm. What a fall. Where's the jazz coming from, dude?
Yeah, out of nowhere.
Is that a... Just for that one bit. Oh, man. He's having a little bit of trouble.
Yeah. It'd be hard.
Yeah.
Gonna walk up that hill in those shoes carrying this lady.
Oh, look at that. He's got the bag on his arm. Yeah, so that cave, that's like one of the famous like Bronson Canyon caves.
Been a lot of monsters in this cave.
Yeah, the robot monster from the movie Robot Monster. Also called one of the worst films of all time.
He's blocking the cave with a big rock.
Yep, that'll it's very, very thick. It's definitely not paper mache.
So all they've got to do is poke him in the eyes.
Well, I think all you got to do is blare radio and he won't know what to do. It's not going to take much. I'm sorry.
Roxy.
When did Eegah learn how to bandage? Or did he do that himself?
Roxy.
Oh, Dad.
Oh,
Oh, are you hurt?
I think my collarbone's broken.
Here, let me help you.
How did you get here?
Well, we came looking for you, and we were both so worried that we didn't know what to do.
No. She's mine. She's mine.
He understands you.
We got a beautiful friendship going.
The same as the friendship of the Cornelius and the abominable snowman from Rudolph.
Don't do anything to scare him.
Me scare him?
Smile.
Oh, he just got snot all over me.
He likes your perfume.
Smell all you want. Go ahead.
What became of the others?
What others?
Keep smiling. You didn't come out here alone, did you?
No. Tom's with me. I mean, he's out there
Hold
someplace.
still. He's just curious. Hold still.
Yeah, like he has a beautiful face. Like his face is very like made up and clean. Here's a caveman for you. Not dirty at all. He just got his hair styled.
Looking for
shows
lice.
us in a romance.
Careful, honey. Take it easy. He won't hurt you.
Caveman romance film.
No, I did that myself when I fell on the camera.
Dad, I think you better break this up before I scream.
Tell him you're hungry.
I'm not.
Well, think of the alternative.
I'm hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Hungry.
He got some like witch's cauldron going back there.
The mad scientist laboratories. He's actually a genius.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
What are those?
Those are his relatives.
What is this, Beetlejuice?
They're dead.
Yes, apparently for some time.
He said it.
He said it.
I didn't even think he'd say it. Chinchilla. I got that.
Come on.
Is that his name as we were referring
Yeah, it
to
won't
himself?
work.
Yeah.
The entrance is blocked.
Oh, what are we going to do?
I don't know. But we'll think it's something. He's telling his family all about you. He told them about me last night.
Think how lonely he must be.
I know whatever he is, he's a human being.
Me want cookie.
Did you know you can save 15% or more on 15 minutes on your insurance?
What'll I do?
It'll be all right. Play it by ear, but don't upset him.
Improv.
He's telling them he has guests for dinner.
How'd you do?
Meeting the family on the first date.
Well, that one looked like a very important ancestor. Shake hands with him, Roxy.
Oh, Dad.
Dad joke.
Oh,
I got her.
Doesn't he know they're dead?
I think so. He just can't make himself accept it.
I'm not having any trouble.
This is like where I feel like the
How are you
movie just really
feeling
starts
today?
to just get
Oh, that's fine.
ridiculous.
Yeah, what is
happening?
What is happening? Where is this going?
Take a bite. You don't want to be impolite.
Yeah, good guess.
It's hot though, right?
Yeah.
It's so good. What the fuck has he been doing?
Lost the trail.
I don't know what I'm doing about here. I might as well get back on my dune buggy and go
he's
home.
gonna have to go fight coyotes.
I got 2 other girls to worry about, okay? Yeah, dude. Oh my god, it's right there. It's definitely not stock footage.
I can't eat any more of this.
Fake it.
That's what I've been doing. Now I'm getting sick.
Eegah.
Eegah thinks everybody has the same
Might
appetite that
be,
he
that's
does.
the word he says most of the time. Eegah.
Full.
Oh,
drink.
Dad, no. That's all I need now is a good drink of sulfur water. Ooh, I don't see how anybody could drink that horrible stuff. I guess it can't hurt me.
Make it
are you
last
sure?
As long as you can.
Have you ever eaten dry ice before?
Yes, you're a gentleman, huh? Thank you. Well, here's to you.
Bottoms up.
Ah!
Yeah.
This water doesn't make you strong. You have to be strong to drink in the first place. No, I'm still thirsty. Thank you. That doesn't.
Uh-huh.
What is it?
believe it or not, Dad, I'm going to look at his etchings. Oh, this is nice. No. This. Nice. I see what you mean.
These cave paintings look very recent.
Yeah, they do, right? Fresh. Super fresh.
Dad,
What is it?
look at this drawing. It's me in my car. This one is me.
Roxy! Roxy!
That's no car.
If Eegah makes me drink any more of this sulfur water, I'll die.
We've got to keep him busy.
I know.
And it's not so bad, as a matter of fact. A little bitter. But it seems to have a certain quality that's good for you. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if the sulfur in these walls isn't what's kept these giants alive all these years.
You mean these giants have always been here?
Where have you seen those before?
In that cave in France.
Exactly.
Sure.
Same style, same everything. Definitely prehistoric. Yes, I'd say that he and his tribe have always been here.
Are there others?
No, he's the last one.
How can you be sure?
I took a good look at his family. From the condition of the shrouds, I'd say the last one died 50 or 100 years ago.
How old does that make him?
Oh, I wouldn't even guess.
Please don't tell me that's all we get. I need more. That is not nearly enough of an explanation of how the fuck we got here.
Here it comes. Stimlo.
No.
Nope. You dude, what? You promised me. You said she was down to clown. That's my daughter, you caveman. Whoa. What is this? Is this some foreshadowing? What's going on here? Why? Why did we need that? Are you shitting me?
Sleeping on the job.
Bro, you know it's a caveman. What do you think you need to be looking for? Where do you need to go? Caves. Of course, he couldn't go far from the dune buggy. Why am I not surprised? So, he's been out in the desert for 2 days. She is like one of 3 girls that he's stringing along, probably. The question is, why has he not just gone back home?
He's too wholesome.
How could I forget? How could I forget what we were even watching?
Roxy.
Oh, it's you, Dad.
Go see if the rock's in place. He's gone. Now's our chance.
It's there. What are we going to do? can I do?
Help me back. I gotta sit down. No. Don't touch it.
It's got to be tied up or something, doesn't it?
There's some aspirin in my beer bag.
I don't see it.
He brought it here. Must be around someplace.
I think Eegah ate it.
Keep looking. You probably hid it somewhere.
Eegah ate all my aspirin.
No, he ate the whole bag.
Oh, here it is.
What? Why?
The aspirin's in that small pocket.
Oh, well, I guess you gotta have some water to take your aspirin, huh?
Give me 2.
Give me 2.
Drink a lot of water. It'll give you strength.
It won't knit bones, honey.
It's got to be tied up with something, doesn't it?
No, it feels pretty good now.
Liar.
That's no way to talk to your father.
The trouble with you is I spoiled you.
You sure did.
What can I do?
Nothing. I'll just sit here.
How about if I washed your face? Or gave you a shave? It'll make you feel better. You've got all your junk here.
Okay.
How about I give you a shave? It's just funny watching him walking around, running around with his gun. He's like, I'm surprised he's not wearing flip-flops. He was wearing flip-flops earlier. And I was like, I hope he's just wearing these the whole movie. Because when it's summer, I only wear flip-flops. Yeah, are you just now questioning why you let your daughter shave your face? You think that this is a good idea? Why?
You're gonna get shaving cream in the sulfur water.
Oh, Eegah, you love struck fool.
Hopeless romantic, Eegah.
I brought you some flowers and a dead rabbit. Eat.
Girls like rabbits, right?
They well, because what they like to do, they like to chop off the foot themselves to make sure they earn their lucky rabbits. I do expect a killer rabbit to just start hopping out of this cave. It does look very similar.
Look, before he has a chance to block the entrance, I'll get his attention. You run out.
And leave you?
Do as I tell you.
Not this time, Dad.
You were lucky last night. He's had time to think about you.
I'm not going to leave you to get your head bashed in. My father didn't raise me that way.
So he had to move a rock to get a heavy rock to get in here. You hear that rock? This rock defies all physics. It makes no sounds, no reverberations.
This cave is soundproof. The acoustics in here are impeccable.
We've got to get his mind on something else.
Well, hopefully Arch can get in here and start recording some rock and roll hits.
Finish shaving.
Brinson, keep busy. Here he comes. He's interested. He almost forgot to shut the door.
Well, that doesn't say much for my sex appeal. You're running out of whiskers.
Uh-huh.
Now I suppose he wants a shave.
I'm sorry, you need some clippers to deal with a beard
you're
like
gonna-
that, all right? Evan would know.
Yeah. You gotta cut that down before you get time to the razor.
You would not believe the number of foolish people out there that probably do just
Try these.
try
Just
to
immediately
start
stuck.
razoring a huge beard. Look out for that lizard. What is that? A Gila monster?
Is that a Gila
oh my
monster?
god, dude, it's giant. Look out. It's gonna get you. He's gonna drive his dune buggy into it. It's gonna explode.
One beard later.
Wow.
Better watch him with that shaving balm.
Balm? You cut me. Oh. Oh my god. Bum, bum, bum.
Roxy!
So is this just turning into a reverse Pretty Woman?
Yeah. Oh my god, dude, you called it. That's exactly what it is. I've been asking myself this whole time, what does this remind me of?
Pretty caveman
woman. Oh my god, dude, look
walking
at
down the hill.
There's no way of telling how
The most handsome caveman ever.
He's gonna go walk back on that highway and run into a car and say, "You made a big mistake, huge." Walk out. Wow. Well, now that Eegah's all cleaned up, we're gonna go ahead and take our second break. So we're 2/3 of the way through Eegah. What do we think, Evan?
What on earth is going on in this movie?
I could not tell you. I was not expecting us to spend the middle part of that movie in the cave and just like
this makeover scene.
Yeah, right. Like this is the whole Richard Gere kind of showing her the ropes. Like, how do you transform the in this case, caveman serving as a substitute for a prostitute? How do you transform them into a high society, or just in this case, a 20th century individual?
Yeah,
in this case, you shave his face.
Yeah.
What else did they do?
I want to see this caveman at the opera.
We might get there, Evan. Once he breaks into high, all he needs is one trip to the country club.
They're gonna bring him back to the club.
And he will be it'll be a reception. He'll be well received. I think he'll make a good impression. The dress code might be a problem. He might run into some issues there, but I'm interested to see how he handles it, because he might, again, he's being transformed. These people are showing him what civilized life is like. So we'll see if Eegah can pull himself together and get out there. I mean, why not, right? It's it's ridiculous. I love it. I'm having a lot of fun with this movie.
I really can't help but feel that there's like almost a it's not, but there's almost a love triangle kind of going on.
She's definitely warming up to
She's
Eegah.
warming up to Eegah.
Although some people would say that there's a love triangle going on with hold on. Roxy and Eegah and Arch Hall Sr.
You think so?
So that's apparently the thing that the Mystery Science Theater guys like really honed in on, and that other people have honed in on, is that even though Arch Hall Sr. is playing the father of the Roxy character, that they seem to be very like...
They're very close.
Close. And one of the things that I came across in my research is that apparently she was his secretary at the time, and that they may or may not have been in a relationship. That was speculated. Totally, completely speculation. But that was something that was speculated. It's interesting that she would go on to appear in the film they did after this, The Sadist, which again, we've seen on this show before. But it's funny that, you know, that both of the people, the young couple, you know, they would go on to play another young couple, but the total opposite of the kind of young couple that they're playing tonight, right? That's the funny thing about like the Halls is that this was their first indie movie, really. They did The Choppers, but I don't think Arch Hall Sr. did like produced, directed, came up with the story like he did with tonight's film. Tonight's film was the first time that he did something like this, and apparently it was he basically like almost bankrupted himself
on this
making
movie.
This movie, yeah. But it was the budget was $15,000, and they shot it in 14 days. So, you know, hey, double the schedule of your average Poverty Row movie and budget. I mean, budget's kind of the same, honestly. But, you know, Arch Hall Sr., this was really kind of the first thing. And then The Sadist was kind of a swing in a different, more straightforward exploitation. Tonight's film isn't exploitation per se. You could say the caveman element is what they exploited here, and obviously that's, you know, in its way exploitation, cave exploitation, whatever you want to call it. Not that there's been much of that. I don't have a break geared around cave exploitation. Maybe I should have done a little more research. But they did tonight's movie. They did a movie called Wild Guitar, where Arch Hall again plays this singer in a band. It was more like the King Creole trailer that we saw at the beginning of the pre-roll, where he's a little more edgy and he's getting into issues and problems with other people, but he's wild, but he's still like ultimately trying to do the right thing, and he's not a bad guy. So they were, you know, Arch Hall Sr. was definitely trying to turn his son to this Elvis Presley style star. And, you know, in the California rock scene of the early 60s, he had Arch Hall Jr. had some success, but, you know, he wasn't a star, not really. But Arch Hall Sr. was one of those guys who was just very cocky and confident. And so much so that there is a movie, a 1961 movie, so the year before tonight's film, called The Last Time I Saw Archie. And the writer was something Bowers. His last name was Bowers. He flew with Arch Hall Sr. during World War II. They were like, it was like a it wasn't non-civilian, but it was some kind of pilot program that was, you weren't in the midst of battle and action, but you were like flying transports and like doing kind of more, I guess, less dangerous things. They flew together, and it's this World War II comedy, and Robert Mitchum, famous, you know, noir star and westerns, he did it all. He plays Arch Hall Sr. Archie Hall is the name of the character. It's who he's playing. So of course Arch Hall Sr. sued because they didn't get his permission, right? To name this character after him. And he got a settlement. They settled it out of court, and apparently the screenwriter said, well, that's Arch. You know, that's him. Of course he would sue and try to get money out of it. The movie portrays him as a womanizer and quick to like make a buck or pull a scheme or a scam. You know, he was one of those guys.
One of those guys, yeah.
So perfect indie filmmaker, right? Perfect indie producer, like trying to find what's the easy buck? How do I make this work for me? Let me put my son up here and try to see if I can turn him into a star. You know, like very just trying to find whatever advantage he can find. That was Arch Hall Sr. So it's so crazy that the year before this, there's a movie that was made that is literally based on this guy that wrote, directed, and is even in tonight's film. And then, you know, he continued to, over the next like 2-3 years after tonight's movie, make films, some that had his son, some that didn't. So we will see the trailer for The Sadist, which obviously does feature his son. The other trailer we'll see is for a movie entitled... I can't remember the title. It is entitled The Thrill Killers. And it is much more like, I think it's 1964. And it's much more straightforward, like exploitation, like mad killers running around, just killing people. Like for 64, I mean, pretty, I guess advanced isn't the word I'm looking for, but right on the money in terms of content for the time. So, it was a movie produced by Arch Hall Sr. It does not have Junior in it, and an associate of theirs who actually worked on tonight's movie directed it, but I'll talk about him after the break. So we're gonna make these two trailers, and then when we come back, we'll get into the exciting conclusion of Eegah. So stick around, we'll be right back.
I am Nicholas Merriweather, executive producer of a new motion picture I dare you to see. This equipment operated for 165 days, creating a new kind of realism, a suspense never equaled. This contains 70,000 feet of film, reduced to the most terrifying 90 minutes ever made. The Sadist is coming to this theater, to this screen. The Sadist. A human volcano of unpredictable terror, rejected by society, twisted with mental anguish, tortured by complexes, man or monster, sane or insane, but driven to shock and kill. Of life, strange and terrifying, unfolds on the screen with such startling realism.
Come on, maybe the gun's empty. Come on, miss, I'm giving you a chance.
Such powerful suspense, you will forget it is on film and see him cold, stark. Inflicting pain, seizing revenge.
Eat the dirt, taste it.
Giving only of his own driving passion to torment and twist the innocent, subject them to animal misery, and kill. Torn from the front pages, flashed to the screen, with all the shock of a gun blast, comes the most suspenseful, terror-stricken motion picture in years. The Sadist is coming to bring you the most terrifying 90 minutes ever seen to this screen. The Sadist.
Motion picture history, you'll see the side of Hollywood you never expected to see before. shocking the screen with the confidential expose of the go-go set, alluring lights and love, a wild and wanton all-night party where anything can happen. It's bestial back streets where lust and murder run amok. Or cheat. I killed you. The Thrill Killers! Homicidal maniacs on a bloody rampage of horror! The great whose hungry actors thirst for the blood of the living! The Thrill Killers! Starring Cash Flag as Mad Dog Click, kill crazy psychopathic fiend who do anything for a kick. Maniac with a gun. The Thrill Killers with Liz Renee, love-starved Hollywood sex goddess whose insatiable passions drove men to the very brink of hell. Ride with Mad Dog Click and the Headchoppers 3 as they blaze a terror trail of horrifulating evil through the sin mecca of the world. Cash Flag, Liz Renee, the Thrill Killers.
And we are back. So those are trailers for The Sadist and The Thrill Killers. So as you can see, exploitation became the main line after a while for Arch Hall Sr. And
well, you know, I guess it's what sells, and it seems based on your description of Hall Sr., he's the type of guy who would totally go for whatever sells.
Right. And yeah, I mean, he also, I'm pretty sure, produced a Western with his son around, like, in the intervening years after this, and it obviously didn't do any kind of business, but it's still a testament to the fact of indie filmmakers out there just trying to, that they were able to use exploitation to their advantage to make money. And guess what? Eegah made a lot of money for Arch Hall. Okay,
I was gonna ask if this was a successful.
Do you want me
movie.
to tell you now, or do you want me to save it for after the movie? I can tell you now. I can save it.
Well, you already said that it made him a lot of money.
Well, okay, so $15,000 budget, right?
Yeah.
Ended up making $1 million, apparently, according to him.
Okay.
And apparently on opening night, boom, $15K. Boom, budget, opening night. That's as a filmmaker, an indie filmmaker, self-distributing your own film, that is your dream. Right?
Yeah.
You make your money back on opening night. Like, all right, well, everything here after that is profit. Like, hell yeah. Like, so, that's, again, like I told you earlier, he went bankrupt, like nearly bankrupt. Like, he had to sell his car. Like, it was a whole thing. It was apparently not good. But
he had to sell his son.
Yeah, well, obviously Arch Hall Jr. didn't really, escape unscathed from all that. I mean, he went on to just kind of have a normal career as a pilot, like a commercial, not a commercial airline, like not private. It was like he would, again, almost like his dad, like transport things or fly things. He had a career in the aviation industry, let's say that. And it's so I have a fact. I don't know if we've gotten there yet, so I'm gonna save this for the end of the movie. There's a great fact that relates to something else, Scream Stream related.
Okay.
It's very recent, and so I'm like, this is a fun fact. And I'm like, save it for the very end. So I'm gonna tease it and save it for later. It's something. It's a lodge. It was a scene filmed at a lodge. I don't feel like we've seen that unless the country club is some kind of lodge. But that doesn't. I don't know what the definition of a lodge really is. I can't say that I hit that nail on the head. Anything else before we get into the exciting conclusion of Eegah, Evan?
So it feels like we're going into like a Tarzan kind of direction.
I mean, a little bit. But...
So when's Phil Collins gonna come
in? Ooh, yeah. Well, obviously, Arch Hall Jr.'s building up. He's got the invisible choir. He plays guitar. He just needs a sick drummer, dude. And then there'll be like Genesis, which they talked about Genesis earlier when they were talking about the Bible.
The Giants.
So I think you hit the nail on the head, dude. I think there's going to be some kind of sick ass drum solo. I think you should all prep for that. I'm prepped for that. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I don't know who the bad guy in this movie is anymore.
I don't think
because like they're really softening up the
that is a great thing for you and all the audience. By the end, I want you to tell, and I want to find out who is the bad guy. Let's answer that question at the end of the break. At the end of the movie, who is the bad guy? Who really is the bad guy? Find out. I'll go ahead and tell you that fact now because if we see this lodge, maybe we'll know. I don't think we'll know, but. So apparently there was a scene filmed at the Ocotillo Lodge in Palm Springs, California. And this was once owned by Gene Autry.
Oh, no.
Has been starring in our Wednesday night minisode Serial The Phantom Empire. Wow. We've been having a lot of fun watching Gene Autry run around and not acting and, singing and... He didn't sing on the last one.
I was really disappointed.
I'm madder now that I think about it. I don't even want to think about it anymore, actually.
He's contractually obligated.
Okay. One last thing before we get into the break. You remember we saw that trailer for the Thrill Killers, and you click Cash Flag.
Yeah, Cash Flag.
It's obviously not a real name.
Should be.
So Cash Flag is the name of his real name. I don't know if it's actually his real name, but credited also as Ray Dennis Steckler, who is most famously known for another movie called One of the Worst of All Time, which also billed itself as the first horror movie musical. Gotta take a big breath here. The incredibly strange creatures who stopped living and became mixed up zombies. So,
right.
He was an associate of Arch Hall Sr., and I think he was an assistant cameraman on tonight's movie, and he will appear at a small part at the very end of tonight's movie. So he's got a very R.I.P. ugly looking face. I know that's even not a correct thing to say, but he's just he's a villainous looking guy.
What I would have expected from the caveman.
Well, yeah, maybe he should have played the. I mean, I think Richard Keel's doing a great job. Even though it's not his voice, it's probably Arch Hall Sr. that's making all that Cookie Monster sound. I wouldn't put it past him. Okay. Did I already ask you anything else? Okay. All right. Then without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the exciting conclusion of Eegah right now. Sorry, I just have so many facts.
One more fact.
You're handsome.
You're handsome. What, are you surprised?
I warn you, Roxy, don't upset him.
Tell me some more about your etchings. You like the pretty smell? This is loaded with perfume.
If this had been written by Ed Wood, that would be Angora.
I'm gonna try and get him to move the rock. These smell pretty too. Where did you get them? Out there?
Do daffodils smell pretty?
Really think you should put them in water.
Wait, no, what's it?
Guess you're right.
Are those daffodils?
There are plenty more out there. Here, look at this. Look.
I'm gonna look it up. I have this magic device right here.
I'll bet you haven't seen anything like that before.
Yeah, it's a daffodil.
Don't you think it's pretty? Do you like it? Oh.
Give him something else.
Oh.
I'm not comfortable with him telling her to just go with it.
Just play along.
It's just very. You know what it is, Evan? You know what it really is? It's very yikes-y.
Yeah.
It's very yikes-y.
Don't get the idea I don't like you, but my father. He could see us. See.
I don't even sleep next to my steady.
You'll just move the rock. We can go outside.
Are we finally getting out of this fucking cave?
Oh, Eegah. Outside. You and me. Outside.
No, save yourself.
I'll keep him so busy he'll forget the rock.
Once you're outside, run.
Come on. Outside.
That's definitely Arch Hall Sr. Dubbing for Eegah. Oh. He doesn't even know how to use that gun. Uh-oh. Eegah, what are you doing, bro? I know you're a caveman, but this is unacceptable. Eegah! 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 Yeah, Robot Monster definitely walked out of that cave, dude. For sure. Oh, not a clean shot. Is it what? Is that a purse or it almost looks like a vase?
It kind of does, yeah.
Get after them. The doom buggy's just down the canyon. I can do it. Go on.
Gotta get my safari hat back on. Can't go down this mountain without my safari hat. What's the practicality of a safari? What's the what?
I guess it's covers a lot of your head.
Oh, nice.
Oh my god.
Ooh, he got him with the little person move, go through the legs. You know, any small squat person, you're fighting a big guy, you just whoop, through the legs, right?
Eegah, in which Ray Hall Jr. fist fights a caveman.
And gets knocked
loses.
cold. Look at him, dude. He's out. Good actor. Oh, nope. He's up. Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Tom.
I just keep calling him Arch Hall Jr. Like, I don't even remember that his name is Tom.
Dad.
He's okay. He's waiting for us.
My dogs are barking. Hold on. I'm gonna just turn my camera off while I get the other thing.
Okay.
You got it. You got it, Evan.
All right.
Run, kids, run!
Go get him, Eegah.
It won't start.
Let me.
Hurry!
What's wrong with it?
I rigged it so nobody could steal it.
Out here?
What did I miss? Nothing?
You missed them trying to start the dune buggy for 30 seconds.
Damn it. That sounds fun. This looks fun though. What are you going to neutral? Oh, there we go.
It's cutting down really slow.
That damn water in the tires. I don't think that's.
Oh.
I think that might be why he's getting stuck all the time.
Well, what now?
I don't know. Eegah's moving pretty quick.
Get in!
Oh, too steep. Can't do it.
We're stuck.
Here we go back.
We're carrying too much weight.
I wonder what it could be. Oh my god. You're gonna crack the windshield, yeah?
Which way? That way.
I thought you knew this part of the desert like the back of your hand. Come on. Your dune buggy tracks are everywhere. Oh my god, He looks so huge standing on top of that. Oh my god, dude. I love that. That is crazy. Oh my god. Aww. Poor Eegah.
Okay?
Honey?
Just fine, Dad.
Wowee, there he is.
Wow, we.
So long, High Pockets.
Bye-bye.
Aww.
What?
I think I'm in love.
She's going back.
Eegah. Yeah, look at her. Oh my god, she's longing for him. You know, longing is like a whole different kind of a thing.
Well,
I love this sad music too as Eegah's trudging back to his cave in defeat. The low point of the movie. Dude, Eegah's about to blossom. Third act, dude. We're
Yes.
gearing up for the third act. Love it. Is it the water that keeps Eegah like alive or something?
I think so. They said something about that.
Of course I missed it. This is the dirtiest he's looked all movie. You know those kind of conversations you have with your relatives, right? Yeah, that's what I did too, Eegah. So Eegah looks much bigger. I mean, obviously a body's gonna shrink, but he looks much bigger than those.
Yeah, he's just tall. The
Maybe
rest
you
of
just
them were
hugged them all too hard. Possible.
You gotta give up the water to go look for.
Music is kind of all over the place. It's like a mix of like library music and this is original, the guitar stuff. You ever just run around screaming your name? Garrett!
He's got to run to the airport and catch her before she catches the big flight.
Dude, this is totally like a Pretty Woman, dude. Oh my god, we've been on the track all night, dude. We know exactly what we're watching, dude. Our rom-com, dude. This is a rom-com with some science fiction elements. Although
this is unbelievable. It feels like this is switching between being two different movies.
it is kind of all over the place. That's what I'm saying. It's so funny that this comes before the Beach Party movies because the Beach Party movies do kind of go all over the place and are crazy and have weird things. Especially, we've seen the trailer for Ghost in the Invisible Bikini. It's... they balance this stuff in a weird way. Look at that pool, dude. Oh my god. Another pool. My fix.
But try again.
Come on, give me another wide shot of that pool. fiending for it. You shouldn't drink that stuff, Eegah. It's doesn't taste good. Ooh. See, like Frankenstein in the movie Frankenstein, he's hiding in all this brush. Look at him hiding in the palms. That's Eegah.
George, you're drunk. Give me the keys to the car.
No, baby, I just had one. That's all, just one, baby.
That's what Justin Timberlake said.
One bottle.
Bottle.
Hey, baby.
You had enough.
Well, I'll tell you when I've had enough. You do me a great injustice.
Uh-oh. Dead. Clubbed.
The keys. I've had enough.
That's... Back on the highway. You can't keep this man off the road.
For a second, I thought that was gonna be how the movie ended.
Well, normally our movies would be about this long, but this is like 15 minutes longer even what we've been getting recently. An hour and a half. A cool hour and a half.
If we need time for Eegah's journey into modern society.
Yeah. Is he about to walk the red carpet?
He's gonna replace his loincloth with a nice dress.
Smash. Oh, come on. Well, they don't have the budget for that. You can't smash out a whole store window. That's the lodge. That's the Gene Autry's lodge, dude. Gene Autry's lodge.
I'm ready, Dad.
Well, I'm not.
And Cash Flag told a story. Cash Flag. Ray Dennis Stegler told a story about when they were driving in the desert filming unpermitted. The landowner drove up. They were talking about movies, and the landowner was Harpo Marx.
What?
You gave it to me
He
4 years ago.
told a lot of tall tales. Cash Flag
it's
did.
lovely. Are you sure you're feeling well enough to go out tonight?
Honey, we've got to go out.
Well, it's not anything special. It's just a party.
Your whole gang will be there.
Yeah.
You can't avoid them forever.
Arch Hall Sr.'s the kind of dad that goes to the party. Even if his son doesn't want him there.
She'll laugh a lot.
Yeah, it's that wholesome.
What'll happen to him?
I don't know, but I'm certain we're doing the right thing. If we were to reveal that a giant actually exists, there'd be a whole army out there tracking him down. Like
Giant or caveman?
No, they wouldn't.
What
We
is
wouldn't
the?
let them.
I feel like we're burying the
Honey,
lead.
he's from another age, another eon. Come in.
It's Eegah.
Hello, Mr. Miller.
Hello, Tom.
Wow.
This is the wholesome teen stuff that just makes you want to.
Thank you. I'll only be a minute.
It's like nobody talks
wrong,
like this.
Mr. Miller?
We're just talking about our little adventure.
Oh, I see.
You do?
Well, sure. A girl like Roxy don't get over a thing like that right away.
Doesn't.
That's what I say. She's got to get her mind off it.
That's what I
And
say.
this Hopkins that'll help. Yeah, my combo's gonna be there. And they swing.
So I understand.
And he would eventually
I'm
one day
ready.
become the artist known as
Well,
Longmont
let's split
Potion
then.
Castle.
Mr. Miller, I got my dad's wheels tonight.
Really? Do they fit on your car?
You're funny, Mr. Miller. Real funny.
Did you just growl at me? That real romantic growl. That's how you know they're not right for each other. Eegah and Roxy were meant to be together. Okay? She showed him how to become a 20th century man. All he had to do was shave his beard. He can walk around in a loincloth. It's 1962.
Yeah, it's not even that weird. He looks so huge in this room.
He really does. 10-foot ceilings. It's probably about 9 foot actually. Well, God, maybe not even that. Stop it. Oh no. Oh.
He's thwarted.
He can't figure it out. This is the problem with a caveman movie. Caveman living in the modern day. This is how he gets through every door. He has to bash it in. He doesn't know how to work a handle. Scooby-Doo, we're gonna get it. He's gonna start. Where's the Brock music? This is the time for it. Oh. Squandered a really good opportunity. Ooh. It's the wrong time to be getting hungry. Oh, Evan, you made yourself another, I can't remember the name.
I did do a little more.
Oh, sure. Oh my God. What's he doing in here?
Police!
Call the police. Oh, that's Cash Flag right there.
Hey, wait a minute, friend. What is this, a masquerade?
That is Miller's giant, darling.
Oh, come on, you can talk plainer than that. Look out, Mr. Cushman, he's for real. What did he say?
He's real.
Of course, he's real.
Nice dive.
Hurry, quick, call the police.
Oh, pool at night. Look at those lights in that pool, dude. Phone call? For who? It's definitely Arch Hall, Senior. You hear that smoker's call? Sorry, is that a code? We get a lot of that. Love. I've been inspired by this crazy stuff that happened to me. I did a new song.
The old rock house on the Brownsville Road. Crazy things happen according to the code. The code of the ghost, that's the sign of the toad. Nobody lives on the Brownsville Road.
So there's a guy in his band here in this scene that went on to go produce for Motown and produce like early Jackson 5, helped produce like ABC and the Supreme song Love Child. So, you know, Deke Richards. He's one of Arch's bandmates here.
They grin and they rave of the cold, cold grave, and they do the razzmatazz. Their neck bones click.
That's a word that
they do the razzmatazz.
Should it be retired or should we bring it back? Razzmatazz. What does it even
mean? Can you use it in a sentence?
You know he's got that. You got that razzmatazz on him.
We need to ask the kids. Let's ask Gen Z if they want.
Nobody lives there.
So do you guys want to use razzmatazz?
Razzmatazz.
No, I don't.
Let's get some harder rock, guys.
But perhaps we should be a little more discreet about it.
What on earth are you talking about?
Getting as far away as possible from that music. It's a good idea, but we're guests here.
No, the music's wonderful. I could listen to Tom sing by the hour.
And you have.
I just wanted some fresh air, that's all.
Is it, honey?
No. Dad, I've got the funniest feeling.
What is it?
I can't describe it, but I just know something's happened to him.
Him?
Eegah, the giant. Or whatever he is.
I've got a psychic link.
Something's happened to him.
Roxy, look at me. I love you very much. You're more like your mother every day. Every living thing was her personal concern, and she worried about them.
That's just it, Dad. But you see, worry isn't the feeling that I have. I don't know what it is. He's a creature. Well, you just have to look at him to see that. He even tried to kill us. But yet...
You can't get him out of your mind.
This is the running down the terminal, dude, scene. Oh my
insane.
god.
What the hell is happening?
Then it'll be up to somebody else.
I love this, dude.
Maybe him, huh?
Hey! Where you been?
Where
I
you
was
been?
belting out a tune just for you in there. I look up and you're gone.
We can hear every word, Tom. I said hear, not understand.
You're funny, Mr. Miller. Really funny. Come on, Roxy, let's dance.
Wait a minute.
What's the matter?
I thought I heard sirens.
Oh, that's Dino's sax. It leaks.
Cops.
Got a leaky sax.
Eegah, those women are no threat to you.
No, mister. Don't.
Nice. That's all you gotta say. You're like he's like a video game character. No, mister, don't. Move on, first person shooter. Like the old arcade games, you know, where the people just pop out from the... Desert Patrol. Dude, I told you, Desert Lifeguard. I said it, I called it earlier, bro. He was the one who said to watch out for snakes. Damn. Did you see how fast that guy was?
He was on it.
Charlie, look out!
Yeah, what it like... Yeah, easy.
Don't shoot, Charlie!
Don't shoot, Charlie. Nice. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at all the cokes on that table, dude. The band, like, wholesome. Doesn't that just scream wholesome? Coca-Cola. America. America's soda. Still number 1. Pepsi. Number 3 now. Did you know that?
Pepsi. Wait, behind what?
They were dancing, I'd swear this was a fight. What?
Dr. Pepper.
I say, looks like a fight.
Number 2 now. Just recently. Ooh, they're getting a little, that was a little raunchy. Grinding a little bit. Yeah, while we're at the teenagers party, let's go ahead and break the whiskey out.
It's a wholesome teen movie, not a wholesome adult movie.
Ooh, he's dancing with my girl. Ooh,
I think you mean his
Eegah's
girl.
not gonna like this. I love how he's still dancing. Arch, look at him. He's still like waiting for her to get passed back over. Strange.
I'm gonna deck you.
What?
Nice. Fight, fight, fight.
Knock it off. She's my girl. I'm gonna smash.
Eegah. Dude, oh my god, look, this is the first time we've seen how big he is. Oh. Oh. Come on. Uh-oh.
Hold her on fire!
Oh!
Holy cow.
Ooh. Oh, look. Oh, Eegah. Oh, look at that pull shot.
Just like Gatsby.
It is like Gatsby.
Poor devil.
Oh, it's tragic.
Excuse me, waiter. There's a giant in my pool.
Remember, I love you.
Where did he come from?
Is he real?
Who is he?
Yes, he was real. It says so in the book of Genesis. There were giants in the earth in those days. Chapter 4, verse 32.
Okay. That's it. That's what they end on.
Bring in the fog.
More fog.
More fog. Arch Hall Jr. William Waters, a.k.a. Arch Hall Sr. Ray Steckler, a.k.a. Cash Flag. Deke Lucier, a.k.a. Deke Richards. So many a.k.a.s. And keep track. That was Eegah. What did we think, Evan?
What the hell was that, man? What? Why was?
Well,
why was that the what? Is it a monster movie? Is it a teen movie? Is it a rom-com?
It's all of that and more, Evan. And Kathy, I mean, I think it.
I agree.
I think
it needed a little razzmatazz.
Yes, like razzmatazz specifically. Sure, it could have used more. The ending. Understated is the word that I'll use to describe that, and that's not necessarily. I know that's not a good thing, but you know we saw him running down the street like analogous. How do you say that word?
Analogous.
Analogous is that?
You got it right.
The analogous scene of running down the terminal, him running down the street, and then but it gets to that moment and she doesn't accept, right? Like she's like, okay, well, no, like put me down, let me go. he's trying to take her out of there. He's like, let's go be together. Let's go off and have our perfect life. And she's like, I gotta stay here. I can't go with you. And then of course, who comes in? But I mean, not to disparage the boys in blue. They, we appreciate what they do. But the law enforcement comes in, guns blazing, and Eegah.
Cavemen are illegal.
Now, did Eegah brandish a
Just look at
weapon
the
when he grabbed the ladder? A last show of strength, maybe. I love that. Ladder through it, but it didn't work. But all of that, it's like, okay, well, that's not like a great ending, but I see some nuances a little bit in there, like. Maybe they ran out of money. Maybe there's a bigger ending that was written.
Why did the movie decide to be like? It feels like Eegah becomes the main character, but only halfway through the movie.
Well, I think it speaks to your question earlier of who is the bad guy, right?
Yeah.
And to me, the ending says that, in a way, kind of. Isn't society the bad guy?
Society is the bad guy.
Right. Yeah. There's no one villain. We're all villains.
We're all responsible for... Eegah's blood is on all of our hands.
It is. Exactly. I think that is the message that we're meant to take away from this. I do wish that there was a little more like of an explanation of why Eegah. I don't feel like I got enough of that, but the water, I guess, works to explain it. The magical, smoky water.
Yeah, they're drinking sulfur water, which apparently
has life-extending properties for thousands of years. I don't know. Cavemen. I don't know how long ago caveman times were.
Man, speaking of sulfur, I was looking up, like, how like certain chemicals like cause smells.
Right.
I was sulfur. Yeah, I was like down a Wikipedia rabbit hole.
Right.
And I found out that the same chemical that gives cabbage its smell also gives like salty sea air its smell.
I feel like that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I never would have thought about that, but I mean, what is like?
I think it's
just
dimethyl sulfur.
Okay, that's cool. I do appreciate that smell as a beach.
It's funny. Like
person.
I don't know. It's like if it's aerosol, the salt or something.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of crazy to think that this is like, this whole idea of this water has kept him alive because of the properties, and here he is. He's young as that. He's looking like he's in his mid-20s.
He's so making the caveman really handsome was an intentional choice.
It does seem that way. Yeah, again, like they didn't necessarily nail the third act, but I don't know. There was a certain like the way they played it up to the climax was very engaging in a way that you were like, I can't believe I'm watching this. It almost seems like a love story between this caveman
almost
and
feels
this.
like maybe if the movie's gonna be a vanity project about Eegah, maybe Junior should have played the caveman.
Look at Junior in this movie. Does he look? He does not even. Oh my God! Maybe.
What is he doing in this movie?
That's a great. That's the weird thing about this whole idea of a romantic thing. It's like, well, where does
he fit in?
He's the perfect squeaky clean teen. What is he?
Yeah, because usually how these rom-com type things go is the girl's with a bad guy, and then it's this rough around the edges guy comes out of the woodwork, and she cleans him up, and they go off together and leave the bad guy. But like Junior's not really that. He's fine.
Yeah. So that is what makes it. I don't know. I think there's a little more to the understatedness of the ending, and
it's like it's one of those movies that it's not good.
It's not good.
It is making a like we're talking about it.
Yeah,
it's not.
We had fun watching it.
It's not completely formulaic. I'd say it's really making me scratch my head about why
How did they pull all these elements together into this? How did they even get here? It's really not clear. A lot of our movies, we can kind of connect the dots. Oh, they took this concept and this concept and mashed them together. With this, it's like, well, yeah, but it's like 5 or 6 different concepts mashed together, and like kind of like not balanced, but the way that they're all kind of intermingled is a little strange to it's like, well, what kind of movie is this? What even is this?
Strange movie.
It was strange, but it was a lot of fun.
It was a fun movie.
And it was definitely schlocky. And there were some pretty bad good moments. We've talked all about the bad good bad thing.
Did you think the sexual assault scene was tasteful?
It was definitely cringeworthy for sure. I mean, I was like, it's like, do I yikes? Like, because it was just like
that was kind of a lot.
It was a lot. Like, and it was like, okay, well, it's 1962. I know Eegah's not going to do anything bad, but I'm surprised he's doing this much.
Pushing it a little for this vanity project that I'm making for my son.
Yeah, trying to get my son's name out there, but let me really put my secretary in the center spotlight, and it's weird. Arch Hall Sr. is I think this is the only, some of their other movies might be public domain, but they're not. I mean, again, Eegah is more science fiction, but it fits the bill of schlock. Like, it fits into the show. There's other stuff that it's a little, doesn't quite go into like any sci-fi or horror stuff, but they did like some Cold War comedies and some other things that may be public domain. So I'll have to research into that. But again, some good stuff, some bad stuff, some good bad stuff. It was a full basket. This was a plentiful movie, so I enjoyed it. And next week we're again, bad good bad. We're getting back to the roots of last season's Summer of Schlock with a filmmaker that we were introduced to back then when we watched Creature of Destruction. I don't know if you remember that. You remember Creature of Destruction?
Roughly, I think.
She turned into that like gill monster with the tennis eyeballs.
Yeah, okay.
And it was the woman. She got hypnotized by the magician dude.
Yeah, I remember the magician.
It was a wild movie.
Yeah.
So that movie was brought to us by Larry Buchanan. So next Friday at 9 p.m., we're going to be getting our second Larry Buchanan film. And again, he was a self-proclaimed Schlockmeister. I can't remember if he used the word Schlockmeister, if there was something else similar that he called himself, but he had no bones about what he did. He knew exactly what he did and he embraced it. And, Creature of Destruction is one of his more kind of abstract films. Next week, we're going to be watching the Eye Creatures, aka Attack of the Eye Creatures. And don't get your hopes up for these actually being like eye creatures. It's not like an eye. It's not like a giant eye. Actually, if you
like
look up,
iRobot.
yeah, if you look up the poster for this movie, that's going to show you like this giant eye with tentacles. They stole that from another movie poster. It's not even close to what the monster looks like. So, but it's cheesy. It's fun. It's regional filmmaking out of Texas. And it's also AIP, the studio that we've been talking about the past couple weeks now, that really figured out how to just churn out pandering crap and exploitation and make a lot of money in the process. And these were TV movies. I think what we're going to see next week was technically a TV movie. So, should be a lot of fun. You can join us at 9 p.m. Eastern next week for that. And I guess I'm like scared to go like live stream on YouTube now. We'll be able to be back on YouTube, but I almost feel like I need to be cautious until we get some of our strikes gone. Even though I've got a new approach with our whole copyright issues that I think will work in our favor. But yeah, hopefully we'll be back on YouTube and Twitch next week for that. And of course, we'll definitely be on Twitch next week for the 4th chapter of The Phantom Empire, which again, we're getting our Western fix, which we don't ever get on this show, and sci-fi. It's a nice mix. And you can catch that on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. Of course, if you want to follow the show on the socials, we're on X and TikTok and X, Twitter, whatever, and Instagram at Scream Stream Show. And of course, I will put Evan's drink recipe up on Instagram, and you can find all the past recipes, movies, all that good stuff on Instagram. If you want to catch up on any of our past episodes, you can find those over on our YouTube page at Scream Stream Live. We've got, Saturday Night Shockers and all the episodes, minisodes, spine-tingling tales, which we'll have another one of those. Well, we've got a backlog at this point. We've got to kind of get rid of since we've been off of YouTube. So we'll have a couple news stories for you coming up, which are nice and spooky. So it should be fun. And of course, if you want to follow me and Evan on the socials, you can find me over on Twitter at Spakenstein, and Mr. Evan Sink is on Twitter and Instagram at Caligari Cursed. Anything before we sign off today, Evan?
You know what? I think they should have given that guitar to Eegah.
Ooh.
We could have had a singing caveman. That's what this movie really needed.
You know, he can't have the love of his life, but you know what he can't have? Music. Think about it. Oh, wait. Okay. Sorry. Brain fart. Until next week. And we will be back on YouTube Saturday for the Saturday Night Shockers. Until next week. Sweet screams, everybody.
And to all a good friend.